Jive Hype Jeff from Two Hacks Garage. Well, the serpentine kit's done. The carburetors are on. The linkage is on there. Still need to set that. I got the 2-into-1 fuel lines put on. And as you saw in the last videos, we talked about getting the rest of it done. Well, I got a hold of Jegs. And what the Jegs thing is Jimmy and I made a list of all the different fittings that we need, ordered them up. Once again, Jegs had everything we needed in stock, ready to go. Just waited a couple days. Kudos to them, especially with all the supply chain issue stuff going on. So I got all kinds of fittings here, AN, got a pressure gauge for the fuel line, a T, AN fuel line, all that. So basically in this video, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through and actually plumb up the fuel from the fuel pump, which is a Holley 110 gallon per hour fuel pump, mechanical, to the actual carburetors. That way, when we're ready to fire this thing up, it's plumbed, it's ready to go, and we can also drop it in that way. So yeah, it's a little bit of work. Jimmy's gonna show me how he does it and all that. So really, that's what we're gonna get moving on here pretty quick. And after that, it'll be just wiring up the spark plugs to everything. And you know what, guys? It's probably gonna be pretty much ready to fire. Jimmy's still working on the engine stand. The frame's pretty much complete. We'll get more to that here in a little bit. But yeah, guys, we're going to get working on this, and I do got to give a shout out to Rob Z at Jegs. Anything I've needed to get, that guy has hooked me up. Very much appreciated. With everything going on in the world today, with supply chain, you know what? Get a hold of him. He's a great guy. He can help you out, and he's going to find what you need. He will work his butt off to make sure that you're happy, and their customer service really is top notch. We are doing this 521 cubic inch big block Ford for a 1968 Ford Thunderbird that's going to compete at the No Name Nationals. I'm on a time crunch. I have a life just outside of cars, just like everybody else. So yeah, when you have someone like Jegs on your side helping you out, it's very much appreciated. So with that, let's get rocking and rolling. See you soon.
Claim you can use those cable cutters.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing, the most important thing to do is
I went to see
throw the hose.
for a medical
So you're
problem.
not blowing that junk all the way through the
Yep.
hose.
All right, so Jimmy, can you explain to the audience how you're actually putting these fittings together?
Very carefully.
Very carefully.
No, what you do basically is I cut it off. Did you film that?
Yeah.
Okay. He filmed cutting the hose off with one of these thin, high-speed cut-off wheels. I found over the years of doing fuel injection work on the race cars that it's just so simple to do it that way. Give me the 90. So what I do is you cut it off. Whoa, losing everything. Sorry.
We are using the AN, the Jegs AN 6 fittings and the AN line I got from them.
And I use some kind of a lubricant. And I don't like WD-40 because WD-40's got water in it. Some people argue the point, but yes, it does have water in it. So if you ever lube up your gun, don't use WD-40. I clamp it in a vise. Leave a little stick up. And you can fight with it and twist on it and push it on there all day long, but I found one thing that works really well over the years. Get it started, kind of, sort of, best you can. Somewhat straight. And just beat it on her.
See, a hammer does fix everything.
And then I cheat, I go out in the sunlight, because I'm getting old. and it's easier to tell. You drive it on till the hose bottoms out in the fitting. That's a piece of cake. You can look at that and see, although this one's not cooperating for whatever reason, but it's about to. Yep. Okay. I don't suppose you can see this, but the fitting is, the hose is bottomed out into the fitting right there. That's all the further it needs to go. Then, I have put the jaws of my vise in my surface grinder and ground them flat years ago, just so they don't chew up stuff. Or you can put a piece of wood in it, works fine. Then what you do, put just a little bit of lube on the threads and on the nipple, because it's tapered. Screw it together. Pretty simple. When it finally starts, there we go. Three-quarter-inch wrench. I like boxed in wrenches to get it started. Kind of hold up, keep the hose pushed up in the fitting, because sometimes it'll push the hose out of the bottom of the fitting. Make sure you keep the wrench, some of the fitting hanging out of the wrench on the bottom, for the simple reason is sometimes the wrench will scar right here on the other fitting and take the color off of it. And the object is, I guess, working on a race car, just like a hot rod, you want to make it neat, sanitary looking. Unless you build a rat rod and then you want it to look like junk. I'm fascinated with rat rods. I don't understand that culture, but the more I look at them, the more I think they're pretty cool, because all my life I've tried to make hot rods look neat and cool and sleek and slick, and then all of a sudden along comes rusty cars, and I blew my mind.
Yeah, they are pretty neat. I got a buddy out in Idaho that builds them. He was always a sanitary type guy too. So with that, that's how you put those fittings together. So what we're going to do is just go start assembling more and get this wrapped up. See you in a few. All right, well, guess what, guys? We got the fuel lines plumbed from the actual fuel pump up to the carburetors. Takes a little bit of time. As you saw, Jimmy gave a tutorial on how to do these AN lines with the fittings and the hose and all that. Once again, shout out to Jegs. They have quality items for this, and they did have them in stock. So yeah, if you want to take a closer look here, what I'll do is show you what we got going on. So you can see here that we had, I already installed these in a previous video, the 2-into-1 fuel lines for the double pumper carburetors. And that goes into here, and we do have a fuel pressure gauge. And from there, it routes down along here and goes into a fuel filter, which I'll get off there so it's not warm. And then it goes down into the actual fuel pump. So yeah, not too shabby, not too bad of work. Looks pretty nice. Jimmy, as usual, did an excellent job. So now we have fuel. So the next step is going to be getting the spark plug wires in, getting that all nice and neat, and get the spark plugs in while they're just in there now, just kind of resting. But yeah, but just start buttoning up some small stuff. So yeah, guys, fuel lines are done. It's plumbed up for fuel. It's ready to go. Getting that much closer to fire. See you soon.